for a rockin' home party. So now there's all different ways that we get out there and we share what it is that we got. You might call it a home party. You might call it a PBR, private business reception. You might just say, hey, you know what? We're gonna have a get together with some friends. Whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you call it, we want that time to be as effective as it possibly can. As AKA, we want more people joining your team, more customers coming on board, and more people coming to a yes decision. So we're gonna just talk about a couple of the, the setups, things like that you wanna have in place, because there's certain elements that are very important, they're very crucial, and they can kind of throw things a little off kilter if they're out of whack. So we'll go ahead and go through some of them. The first thing is you wanna set the atmosphere. When I say set the atmosphere, what does it mean? Well, let's talk about your house. If you're the one hosting the party, or if this is for somebody in your team, the house should not be like picture perfect, everything swept, everything put away. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to go through and spend hours cleaning your house. Why? Because the minute everyone leaves, it's gonna be a hot mess when we're done. So, just kind of make it convenient, put a couple things away, but it doesn't have to be overkill. Temperature, that's another big thing. Is, here we are in the middle of winter. We want to make sure that whatever we do for our home, that it's a good temperature. Basically, you don't want it to be too warm. Now, we're in the middle of winter right now, so that's not necessarily a problem. But remember, when the heat is jacked up, people fall asleep. So we don't want anybody falling asleep on you, whether it's now or whether it's in the summertime when it's really, really hot. You want it to have, it needs to be, just cool enough to where it's not uncomfortable, but we want to basically keep people awake and rolling. So the temperature is really, really important. Next, let's talk about kids. Let's talk about pets. If we're doing this and our goal is to build a business, our goal is to do this as something to make some extra income, we want to put the kids away. We want to get them in a separate room so that they're not out there stealing the show or interrupting the flow of the meeting. It's funny, a lot of times if you have people and they have little kids, that little kid can get in the front of the room and they can be just the biggest attention stealer. And if you're at a point where you're doing your presentation, you're doing something and it's like you're trying to help build the momentum to get the closing underway, then that could be a huge, huge breaker right there. If you have kids that are stealing the show. Same thing with pets. If we all love our cats, our dogs, or our parrots, or whatever we have, right? But we want to make sure that they're put away so that the main thing is the main thing. So that is the first tip. The next thing is, tip number 2 is we want to over-invite. They might live in a place that doesn't necessarily have a lot of room, and they're like, oh, well, I have a couch and I have a sofa, and it can only hold so many people. And a lot of times they'll be afraid to invite too many people. Has that ever happened to you? You have somebody, they're brand new, they're getting started, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want too many people to be at my house. You're like, I promise that will not be a problem. So I always say over-invite. Typically we find that 25% of whoever you invite actually comes. If they invite 10 people, maybe half will say, oh, okay, and half of that will actually show up. So we're talking like 2 to 3 people. So over-inviting, if they invite, 20, 30 friends, we're gonna put on a party, then, if they talk to 20, they might get 10 that say okay, and get 5, 6, 7 people that show up at their house. So over-invite so we can have a really successful get-together, because obviously you're gonna do the event no matter what. So we might as well get as many people in the seats as we possibly can. Tip number 3 is you don't want to go overboard on snacks. Sometimes people will think that there's all these people coming and they'll put like a whole barrage of stuff out, or you have prospects that are there and they see your home is beautiful, you have like all this great stuff out to eat, and they look at that and they say, I don't know that I can do that. So, we just want to kind of keep the main thing. If you put snacks out, make sure it's corresponding to whatever it is that you do. If you're in a health and wellness business and there's like really heavy stuff out, not a good idea. So, maybe something light, some veggies or some cheese and crackers or something like that, that would be a great way to go if they want to put something out. Don't necessarily need that. All right, tip number 4 is that we want to be prepared. Have you ever been to somebody's house? You come over and you're the guest coming for this, right? Or maybe you're the speaker for the event. And you come over and the host is like totally disheveled. They're like, ah! They're pulling their hair out and they're just like freaking out. Has this ever happened to you? We want to help whoever's doing this party to kind of know, hey, here's going to be the flow. Here's the things that you're going to need to have ready. And let them know up front so that when they get there, when the guests start arriving, it's game time. You know, it's not like they're over there in their kitchen and they got stuff flying out or whatever. They're not preoccupied. The most important part of a home party event is the guest, right? So if our attention is on the guest, that will help. If it's on like, oh my gosh, I'm running late and I don't have all this stuff ready, it doesn't look as good. So we want to be prepared. We want to give that person a rundown. Yes, just relax. Relaxing is so very important. And you know what? The next one is, have fun. Make it fun. If this is something that is a long, drawn out, people are not going to want to be a part of it. They're certainly not going to want to sign up, and they're going to be wanting to leave as fast as possible. So the person that's hosting it, they need to make it a fun environment. Have some peppy music on. Make it a party. Make it, you know what? We're here to share this with you, but we are going to have fun either way, right? People are going to join. They're going to get started as business partners. They're going to get started on the product. But, make it a fun environment so that they would say, hey, I want to come back. And you know what? I have a girlfriend I want to bring to this, right? Make it something where it's enticing to other people. Number 6 is really to make it look easy. Kind of going back to that disheveled host or the person that puts out all the food or the person that their house is like picture perfect when you walk in. Whatever we do, the prospects will view that as this is what I need to do this business. So if it looks hard, if it looks complicated, if it looks not fun, if it looks anything other than like a breath of fresh air, right? It's going to be a challenge. So whatever we do is going to duplicate, whether it's the prospects, whether it's the host, however that is. So keep it fun, keep it light, make it look effortless and like it's a great thing to be a part of. So that is very important. Number 7, the last one. This is probably the biggest one. Out of everything we've gone through, they're all really important. Each and every one has its place. But the 7th one is the key to growing your business. And here's what it is. Make it convenient for your guests to sign up. There are some different companies where everything is done online. And sometimes if you have multiple people that want to get started, they might be like, I don't know, I gotta go. So how can you make it convenient? Paper applications, my friend, is the name of the game. Have something where it's simple. You can put it in front of them. It's very clear, very easy to read. It's it's appealing to the eye, and make it convenient for them to sign up. Because if you tell them, hey, you can go home and do it, later on, or hey, we can have this computer and we can do it, and maybe they're a little challenged with technology, then that might be a hurdle. So the easier you can make it, the more convenient you can make it, the more people you can have registering, whether it be as people using your product or whether it be as people joining your team. So I hope you enjoyed the 7 tips for our ROCKIN home party event. Take them, use them, feel free to share this replay, tag people in it. Now, one of the key things that is important as a network marketer in the day and age that we live in is half our name, marketing, right? Learning how to market your business in a way where people are going to receive it. So we have this vehicle that we're on right now called social media. Learning how to master social media is critical. Learning how to attract people to you, it changes everything. We're always gonna get out there. We're always gonna contact the people we know. We probably will always prospect, especially if it's fun and you like doing it. But if you could actually have a way where you're sitting at home, you're in your jammies, and boom, a little thing pops up on your phone, and it's somebody contacting you about what it is that you have, would that change things? I know it would. So how can you do that? If you click on the link that's listed in the description, it is gonna be the 4 key elements to attracting prospects to you on social media. It's a free MP3 download. Take it, enjoy it, and put it into practice. Start using these 7 tips we went over. Start applying some of the principles that are listed in that audio download, and let's rock it out. Let's go help some people change their lives, and together, let's change the world. For more great training and to receive your free MP3 download on how to attract prospects using social media, the 4 essential elements to attracting prospects, visit summerjeronimo.com.